Hey there, tubers. Today's project is going to be to see if I can convert this right-hand armrest for a Bobcat 2000 series tractor into a left-hand armrest. Now, Bobcat doesn't offer a left-hand armrest because they say it interferes with the controls on the left side. But I'm going to give it a shot. I think it should be fairly simple. Basically, just pull this cap off, and you've got an Allen head bolt in there. Loosen that up, and I should be able to slide it off this shaft that it's on and just flip it over. But Bobcat offers two part numbers for an armrest for the 2000 series tractors, and one of them has been out of stock for months, and I don't know whether it's just been discontinued. They haven't taken it off their website or parts list yet. But the other one is a 7378647. And now this is the second one I bought. First one I put on a while back, and then I ordered the second one to see if I could convert it. So basically, what I'm going to do is just take a little screwdriver here and see if I can pop that off. That went sailing. And then down inside there, hopefully it will focus, there's a number 10 Allen head bolt in there. So that just twists loose. And I think what I'll do is, this is pretty tight. Yeah, it's pretty tight to move it. So what I'm thinking is going to go bolt this on the tractor, and then I can wiggle this armrest and pull at the same time, now that that's loosened up, and work this thing off. And hopefully it's just that simple. So I'll go slap this on and we'll see what happens. Be right back. Alright, so here's what we got. On the back, they've just got two bolts on each side. You can see that I've put the right hand on. And they're, again, a number 10 Allen head bolt. Hopefully you can hear this fine. We got hurricane force winds going right now. But I think basically this mount here can go either direction. So I'm just going to slap it on like this, put those bolts back in, and then wiggle that arm off. Now they give you a couple of really short bolts with it, which I'm not sure why, because the ones that are in the seat here are very long. So I just used the same bolts that came in the seat for the right arm rest, and they work good. So I'm going to pull those out and then mount this upside down, and I'm going to try wiggling that off and see what happens. Be right back. Alright, so I got that partially on. Ran into a little snag. Had a hell of a time getting this one bolt out. Turns out Brutus must have worked in the seat department that day. It has run in, and I don't know whether they cross-threaded it or just ran it in too far and stripped it out. So I'm going to run a tap in here and a die on this, see if I can get some threads back so I could use this. Otherwise I'll have to use the bolts they supplied. And one thing I did find a little strange was I've been using an Allen number 10 on these, but I needed something with a little more leverage, so I went and got my ratchet, and in my hex set it's an H6. So I'm not sure why my Allen set says it's a number 10, but the hex set says it's a number 6. So I'm not sure which one to tell you to use, but they both work for me. But I'll go get these cleaned up, see what happens, and I'll get back with you. So I cleaned those threads up as best I could. They still look like crap. Ran a tap in there. I don't know if it did much. But I was going to use these bolts that they supply with you, but they are way too short. I'm not sure what these are for. without the armrest, this piece here even on, these won't reach the threads. So not sure what they're for, but they're completely useless for this project. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wiggle this armrest back and forth. Let's see if I can pull this, just wiggling it, because I've got that Allen head loose in there. Wiggle this back and forth to see if it'll walk its way off. So that'll take 2 hands, so I'll have to put the camera down and see you in a minute. Alright, so what I figured out is you have to pull that bolt completely out. Once you pull it completely out, she just walks right off. Just like that. Should be able to flip it over because it looks identical on both sides. Just walk that right back on like that. Get it up. Put my bolt back in. And we're in business. So let me throw this in real quick and I'll show you the finished results. Well, we hit a snag here. With that bolt out, this armrest will just spin around in circles. Once you put it in, it doesn't come all the way down. Hits a stop. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to do here. If you look at the shaft that this bolt goes on, it's at a slight angle. So when it's facing the other way, the armrest will go down to where it's level. On this side, it won't. So I'm thinking that one of two things here maybe. I might be able to heat this up and put a twist in it, or cut it off and just turn it a little bit and re-weld it on there. The welding would probably be the quickest and simplest. The heating is probably going to take all the paint off, and I don't know if that'll work for certain or not. But I'm going to keep looking, see what's up inside here that might be able to be adjusted. I don't think there's anything, but it's hard to see up in there, so I'm going to have to pull it off, take a look, and see what I can come up with. So not quite as easy as what I was hoping, but if you could live with your armrest like that, piece of cake. So let me do some figuring and I'll get back with you. Okay, so I pulled both armrests off to compare the angle that this bolt sits at. And this is fairly level where I'm holding the camera, so you can see that it has about an 11 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock angle to it. And then if you come over to the other side, it is almost flat, straight across through here. So what I think I'm going to do is, if you can kind of see in there maybe, all they did is drilled a hole through this plate, pushed this pin in, and welded it on the back side. So I think if I get a hole saw that matches the size of this, take this piece back off, drill out the welds on the back side, I might even be able just to die grind it and get those out. Then just twist this just a little bit and re-weld it, and it should be good to go. But I think that's probably going to be the simplest, or quickest anyway, because there's a little bar on the top and the bottom that's a stop, and it just comes up against the head of this. So if I shaved the head off of this side, it would come down a little bit, but it wouldn't come down enough. So I'm going to have to move this whole piece. So I'm going to give that a shot. I'll probably have to get back to this another day I was hoping it'd be quick and easy, but it got me. So I'll see what I can do and get back with you guys in a little while and show you what I did. See you later. Alright, so what I've decided to do is got the piece back off, and you can see the weld here. I'm just going to take a die grinder and see if I can just grind that weld down, and then maybe just knock that pin loose and out of there. If that doesn't work, then I'll get this ground down enough, then maybe take a hole saw and this size and drill around it till it does come out. But I think a die grinder is going to do it, so I'll get that knocked off there and turn that just a hair and tack it back on and see where I'm sitting. So give me a few minutes and I'll get this ground down. Well, I ground the back side of this down, got this to pop off, and you can see that there's a shoulder on it, so it'll just go in there, and I'll turn this to where I think it will work. I'll put a mark on here with a pin and then just tack it on the back side, tighten it all up, put the armrest on, and see how she lines up. But if you look at this side, it really is almost flat, so I think I'll just start with that to where it's almost flat from front to back, and see how close that ends up being. So I'll make a mark here and go tack this real quick, put it back together, and see where I end up. Okay, so here we are the next day. I've got this all welded back up, shined up, repainted and everything. I'd like to say that it only took me one try, but ended up taking about 3 tries to get it just right. I tried to be as close to perfect as I could, and I think I got there. So now I'll just throw this back on here, put the armrest on, and then we should finally be good to go. So let me get this mounted up and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so there it is installed. Now I'm going to put a little bit of grease on this since it had it from the factory, just to help the armrest move up and down. So I'll get that all lubed up, I'll put the armrest on, and be right back. Alright, so there she is installed. And if you look straight across it, that's about as close as I'm going to be able to get it. I don't know how much closer you could get it. And I don't really have any measurements. There wasn't a good spot to base both sides off of. So it's just basically cut this off and eyeball it. Like I said, it took me a couple tries, so, but I think I got her. So yeah, I mean, the only lever that I can see that it might interfere with is the PTO, and I see just raising it up, you're good to go. So it could have been a really super simple job, but the bolt holes on that shaft are angled just a bit to make up for the angle of the seat back. So I think if I did another one, I could probably do it in under an hour. This one took me a couple hours, but if a person's wanting to tackle it, it's not too bad a job. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.